Well, guys, as you can see in the back of me right here, we have some decorations up. We have a star and a cross, and then right there we have a little thing that, if I can pull this up for a second, hopefully there's no problem. We have a little thing right there that I got at my job about a day or so ago. So, yeah, we're getting some decorations up. We got our tree up, but it's still kind of a work in progress right now. Still got some ornaments and stuff to put up. Still got to put a timer. I'll try to work this timer here, but put a timer where we can have it go off on its own and everything, as well as getting an extension cord for the star to go through, through the tree a little bit, kind of blend in and go from there. As well as we have some decorations, like we got our Santas out and our reindeer on a motorcycle and a little church thing that actually lights up and plays music as well. We have our wreath up. We have a little chimney decoration up with lights, even though we don't have a chimney anymore because this house doesn't have one, but you can imagine that if it did, it'd probably go right here. But you're probably wondering why I'm bringing all that up. Well, there's a reason for that. That reasoning being that about 13 months ago, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic debuted Best Gift Ever. Now, Best Gift Ever was first given a sneak peek to the audience at San Diego Comic-Con of 2018. And here's the thing about Best Gift Ever. We know that My Little Pony Friendship is Magic has had a variety of heartwarming episodes. Basically, heartwarming being the equivalent of Christmas, or being the version of Christmas. So we know they've had a variety of that. We know they had an episode in the second season where they centered it on a play that talked about the founding of Equestria. We know they had one centered around and focused on Pinkie Pie and Applejack and their families getting together called Heartbreakers. We know they did one with Twilight telling a Christmas Carol-like story to Starlight in Heartwarming Tale. And we know that they did one recently as of season 8 with Heartwarming Club and the Student 6, and them telling about what their traditions are doing, what kind of traditions they do during that holiday season. So they're no strangers to this. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is no strangers to this. So the question is, why would they decide to do a full-length 44-minute special like Best Gift Ever? And I think it's because of the fact that when you look at the previous heartwarming episodes and stories that they did, it's pretty much concluded that they are attached to the seasons, timelines and continuities of the seasons they debut in. That's what I'm trying to say, that it's pretty much evident that you look at Heartwarming Tale, it's season 6. You look at the first Heartwarming, it's season 2. You take a look at, Heartbreakers, it's season 5. Or, season 5. You take a look at Heartwarming Club, it's season 8. So, anyway, that they're all connected to certain seasons, and that's the only way you're gonna, and basically that's, but what I'm trying to say, and I am a little tired because I did work for a little while today, but you do know that by looking at those heartwarming episodes and stories, you know exactly where they belong, like what part of the continuity and timeline and all that. Best Gift Ever, you could say, does kind of fit in that category, but not necessarily. Like I've mentioned before, especially at the end, especially now that the series, I should say, animated wise, is over, you could pretty much look at Best Gift Ever as the kind of heartwarming slash Christmas story slash special that could take place at any time. It doesn't specifically have to take place, between season 8 and 9. It could take place after the aftermath of, of the ending of the end and Twilight's coronation that we see in the flashback of Last Problem. You could pretty much look at it as taking place during that timeline. You can even look up and interpret reasons why certain scenarios play out the way they do and why characters say certain lines that they do. Like when Twilight tells Applejack, she still has to, she's part of the break, part of her break that she has is she's grading midterms for the students. And you're wondering, well, wait a minute, if this could probably take place in between the coronation and after the aftermath of ending of the end, how is she doing that if she's going to be ruler and Starlight's a head mayor? And if you watch the beginning of the episode or the special, you see Starlight and Trixie going off on a camping trip for Heartwarming. So that kind of gives you an idea that since Starlight's taking some leave, taking some time to, some well-deserved time to, spend with herself and spend with her best friend and just enjoy a simplified heartwarming, it would be understandable that Twilight would resume her head mayor duties until Starlight got back. So it would make sense why she would say that line. But when I look at Best Gift Ever, I talked about in my review last year, I talked about in my review last year, and you could check that out. I think it's a very good special. I really do. I didn't think at the time that when you look at it from a continuity standpoint that it is the kind of story slash special that you could place practically at any time after, I would say, season 7. Maybe season 6 at the earliest, but mostly season 7. You could look at it as taking place in between any of those timelines. Now I know you're thinking, well, we didn't know about the students until after season 8, so that's true too. But you kind of get the idea of what I'm saying. You could place it at any time between, like I said, season 8 and season 9. Like, it doesn't specifically have to, be the bridging gap between the seasons. It could take place, in the middle of season 8. It's just airing at the end of it. It could take place, in the middle of season 9. It just aired early. You could look at it either way. Like I said before, I look at Best Gift Ever and I say that this is a special that I could originally at first say is a good bridging gap between season 8 and 9, but since it really doesn't have no, tie-in continuity or season to be connected with, and that it's just kind of its own thing, to me, it's the kind of special, Christmas special, heartwarming special, whatever you want to call it, that you could place it any time. You want to place it between 8 and 9, that's fine. You want to place it, between, as I've mentioned many times before, you want to place it between the continuity of the aftermath of the ending of the end and Twilight's coronation, so be it. You could look at it as either way, and like I mentioned, if you think about, Twilight, if you think about placing it, like I said, in between, taking place in between the aftermath of the ending of the end and Twilight's coronation, and you kind of say to yourself, well, wait a minute, Starlight's the head mayor, not Twilight. Twilight's going to be a ruler with her friends. Twilight basically postponed the coronation until the castle was repaired, right? So who's to say that during that time a heartwarming didn't occur and that Starlight decided to go and spend some time, a simplified heartwarming with Trixie a la camping trip, and Twilight during that time, as I mentioned, resumed her role as head mayor, and basically by resuming that role, retook on the responsibility of grading the midterms. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds a little convoluted there, but if you're thinking it from that perspective, it makes sense. But to me, I actually did, and like I said, I actually did enjoy it, and yes, I did like, and here's the thing, I'm gonna probably be one of the many that say this, but I like what they did with Spike and Rarity here. I mean, I understand some fans, are not particularly fond of it. I know when Golden Fox did his review on it, he wasn't too thrilled about the fact that, oh man, really, we're doing this again? I thought we were over this. The same with Miss Anthropony, Map. They all thought, they, along with, I'm pretty sure several others, thought, really? I thought we were over this. Why are you going back to this? And I think, as I mentioned in my original review, basically, the seeds were planted in season 8. I mean, think about this. Season 8, you had, in Breakup Breakdown, you had Spike read off a love poem that he had written for Rarity for Hearts and Hooves Day to kind of give Discord an example of what romance and love is about. You had Meltdown center around Spike and Rarity, going through some unique situations for that episode. You had Rarity be the one that actually saved Spike from choking to death. In the season 8 finale. And then you had some moments where they were next to each other in the second part. So, you had hints all over in season 8 about what was going to happen. And then, of course, season 9, it kind of showed it too, but it wouldn't be until like later on, like at the end of the first half of the season and mostly into the second half, you would get some moments, maybe not as intimate or romantic, but to me, season 8 had the moments, and pretty much when you saw those moments, you're like, really? So that's why Nicole Dubuque and Michael Vogel decided to let one of the subplots here, this heartwarming helper / Secret Santa, be Spike getting a gift for Rarity. And yeah, why not? I mean, I look at it this way. From a realistic standpoint, if you have feelings for a girl, if you're a guy and you have feelings for a girl, or vice versa, you're a girl that has feelings for a guy, and you know that possibly Christmas could be your only chance to express how you feel, you want to go for it. You want to do what you can to express how you truly feel to that person, no matter what. And if one thinks about it, that's exactly what Spike did. He wanted to express himself. He saw the fact that he had this chance to probably express to Rarity how he really, really feels about her. And he knew that he had to make the gift be meaningful and from the heart. And, that's where his song came into play. And again, you look at the little details they threw in there, like Rarity, when Spike's singing to her, has stars in her eyes, stars / sparks in her eyes. That is something that is associated with romance. If you don't believe me, look up Lady and the Tramp, the original animated classic from Disney. You'll see what I mean. The point is, I liked the little subplot there. I like the fact that, Spike wanted to, be the one that got Rarity a gift for her. So he could express how he feels about her, even if, as some people would say, it probably wouldn't go anywhere. But you know what? I think it kind of did. I think when you look at it, interpret it from a perspective of, from that moment, especially in season 9, You know, with Rarity being the one that was concerned about Spike being nearly eaten along with a tree by a giant tortoise, she was the only one that ran out of the group in concern. Or how about her reaction in Dragon Dropped? It's like, yeah, there's something there. There was obviously something clicked, something happened. Like that moment, that one moment in time, just became magical, and it stuck with Rarity, and that's why she acted the way she did in Dragon Drop. That's why she was concerned about Spike in between Dark and Dawn during that moment that I mentioned. So you know, it's under. So again, I liked that little moment. I did. True, I wasn't particularly fond of how Spike did a fast talk slash manipulating. Well, I'll put it this way. I'll admit I wasn't too much of a fan, and I know some fans, some weren't, of Spike. Fast talking slash smooth talking. Of Spike basically fast talking slash. Hold on for a sec. What I was trying to say is, I know some fans are particularly maybe not happy with the way Spike basically smooth talk slash fast talk slash manipulated a trade with Fluttershy, where Fluttershy ended up getting Rainbow Dash, and Spike finally did get Rarity because originally Spike had Rainbow Dash. So I may not have been particularly fond of that, but if you put that aside, you kind of see that he was willing to do whatever it took to win Rarity's heart. I mean, yeah, he was happy to have her, and then realized, oh wait a minute, I don't know what to get her, and his quest to try to figure that out, and that led up to what he did give her. I thought was generally good, and I liked the fact that when he would bump into her a few times, he would kind of be shy a little bit, like, whoa, yeah, cool, all that. And the one other thing I did like about it is how all the other main six, kind of, well, with the exception of Rarity, how the rest of the group kind of knew what Spike wanted, who Spike wanted to trade with or trade for. So, you know, I like that. I like the story plot overall. I really did. And then you add in, the whole Secret Santa and a thing, Secret Santa slash heartwarming helper thing with all the characters, and I liked it. I like how each character had their own individual arc. Applejack trying to find something for Spike, which I think was an honest nod to the Apple Spike fans. I mean, think about it. Spike got Rarity, um, Rarity got Applejack, Applejack got Spike. I mean, come on, honestly. If that's not a nod towards that whole, difference of who Spike should be with between the two, I don't know what is. And then you had Fluttershy, trying to get a gift for Rainbow Dash. Now that she had her, Rainbow Dash trying to find one for Fluttershy, getting help with Discord. Twilight trying to get one for Pinkie, Pinkie for Twilight. I mean, all the story arcs that the characters were involved in, and that intertwined in the end they intertwined together at the end, I thought was really good. And I even liked Cadence and Shining Armor's involvement as well, because we got to see a side of them that we never get to really see that much. So to me, looking back on it 1 year later, I think Best Gift Ever is still a good special. Hold on for a sec. Well, like I was saying, guys, so I liked everything about the special, looking back on it 1 year later. As a matter of fact, I even recorded it onto my currently work in progress 2019 first disc of my yearly traditional holiday movies and specials thing. I actually recorded it after I recorded my DVR recording of the Thanksgiving Day Parade. I put it on Netflix and recorded it from there. But anyway, though, I liked it, and what I liked how, like I said, I like how everything intertwined. I like that they introduced their version of reindeer, which basically some people would say looks nice, but looks mainly like ponies, just with antlers. So, I can understand that, but overall, I thought looking back on it, I think it's still a good special to go and watch. And it's the kind of special that you can watch during prime time if you really think about it. You can go to Netflix, you could watch it. You could say, you know what, we're gonna have a holiday movie night, a holiday movie slash specials night. Sit back with friends, family, or even yourself. Get eggnog, popcorn, whatever, and enjoy the special. And time it to where you're like, okay, I'm gonna put it on at 8 o'clock, and it's gonna end at 8:45. So so yeah, it's that kind of special where you can put it on at any time and enjoy it. Heck, you can even put it on when you're trying to, put the tree up or put the decorations up and it will help you get in the mood. It's really funny. I mean, it's got some great moments. I mean, Rainbow Dash basically saying that she has no idea why she's the only one that doesn't know about the whole Rita Chiller deal, and Fluttershy having her moment when it comes to that. So overall, just a great special, even a year later. So even when and let's be honest, I think a lot of people, despite how they might feel about it, would have to admit the whole thing with Spike and Rarity was sweet and adorable, and if it wasn't, and if they didn't have the difference of opinion on the whole Spike Rarity situation, that maybe they could accept it as being like the first step in them becoming more than friends. But who knows? I think basically this set the tone for it, and that's why you had sort of the episodes that you did between the two this past season, this last season, as well as what you got recently in the 2019 IDW Comics Holiday Spectacular issue. So, overall, though, best gift ever. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's really good. You'll really appreciate it. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. I'm sorry if I stumbled around my words. It sounded like I rambled. I'm a little tired. I've been drinking some coffee to keep me going. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. How do you feel about best gift ever? 1 year later, how do you feel about it? Do you think it still holds up and everything? And what were your favorite parts? Comment down below. Comment down below. Reply if you want. And I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care. And I am out. And again, I do apologize if I stumbled or something around my words. I'm a little tired, as you could tell, even though I worked a few hours. I've been up most of the day since my mom left for her work this morning. So, God bless, peace out, and I am done.